Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for being here for my interview with our stager, Rita, with Hanisch Designs. So I'm going to be asking her some questions today. She's going to be sharing with you a little slideshow that she's put together. And I'm just excited for you guys to hear all that she has to offer, because she's been a huge asset to our business, to our clients. And so I'm excited to introduce you to her. So I'll just start out with how I met Rita. So I met Rita, we had some brochures in our office last year, and I was on the hunt for a stager, and I'd worked with some stagers in the past, but was looking for a change. And so I found Rita's brochure, looked at it, it was very professional, and then gave her a call, and we met and talked, and we've been working together ever since. And something that I had trouble finding as a real estate agent was an occupied home stager. So a home stager that would work with all of your current furnishings and just help you move things around when you're getting ready to sell your home. And so that's what's great about Rita, is she specializes in occupied home staging. So we met, and like I said, we've been working together ever since. We do offer free consultations with all of our listings with Rita. So she'll come in your house for 2 hours. Our clients can attest to this. She'll tell you where to put things. And it's amazing what moving some furniture pieces and decor items around, what it can really do for the look of your home. And the title of this, live is, what is it?
Online appeal is the new curb appeal.
Yes, sorry. So, everything, people look online when they're looking for houses. They start their search there. It's proven. So it's really important that you put your best foot forward when you're going to list your house. So she works with our clients. She does that 2-hour consultation, and then you're welcome to hire her on further to bring in some extra pieces. And, our listings on average sell for 102% of the list price. And many of those have been staged by Rita, or she's done the consultation with them. We just went into escrow last night on a property that she staged, 8 days on the market, over list price. So we're just really excited it works. And real estate is price, location, condition. So you can't change the location. So it really comes down to condition and price. And you'll never know if you'll get the highest price if you just throw it on and hope, that it sells. You really have to be strategic in your approach. And that's why we've partnered with Rita to help our clients. So Rita, why don't you take it away? She's going to go over a number of different things today, showing you some before and after pictures, which are always really fun to see. Kind of go over what staging is and is not, and then really talk about what it's like from a buyer's eye when they come in and look at a house. So it's not what you, the seller, think, how you think things should be laid out, or you really have to kind of change your perspective and put your buyer's eyes on, which is what she does in her consultations to help you rearrange things in your house when you get it ready for sale. So why don't you take it away, Rita?
Okay, well, hello, everybody. Again, this is Rita. I'm with Hanisch Designs. That's my business name. And Jenica reached out to me, and we've been working together ever since. I think it's really important to make sure that you have your home market ready for MLS photos, so that, the online presence is all there. And Jenica puts a lot of emphasis on that as well, because 9 out of 10 buyers actually shop online first before they ever even contact a realtor or go and, tour a home. So it's been a really fantastic collaboration with Jenica, because she understands what needs to happen to have that home ready. So I'm going to go share the screen, if that's okay with you, Jenica.
Yeah, please.
And, yeah, here we go. So I have to look at that. Here we go. And now I have to go into my presentation here. Here we go. So we're going to talk a little bit about what staging is and is not. And home staging is not hiding flaws or decorating interior design or personal style. And I go into these just a little bit more into detail. But what I mean by we're not hiding flaws is, if there is a damage in the hardwood floor or whatnot, we don't want to put a rug over it. It's really, we want to guide the eye to the best features of the home. We're also not just decorating and putting some, fluffing pillows in there and, some artwork, but we're actually really strategically, okay. There's my German coming out, stumbling over my words. But yeah, we're strategically looking at things. And staging is also not interior design or personal style, because what we're trying to do is to neutralize the home to appeal to the broadest audience possible. So the primary objective of staging is not to make the house look pretty, but to show the potential and to really showcase the lifestyle buyers aspire to. So it's a marketing strategy. And for you sellers out there, it's really important that you take the emotions out of the sale of the home and think of your home as a house and not as a home, but as a product. And we want to merchandise the product to get the best sale out of it for you. So one of the things in the marketing strategy too is to have professional photography done, so that those photos that you put first online on MLS just look the best, so that everybody is drawn to it and wants to come and tour the home and check it out. And then again, one of the things that I already said is 9 out of 10 buyers look for a home online. So it all ties together. So what staging is actually utilizes the knowledge of determining focal points. So that could be architectural features, that could be a beautiful view, the pool in the backyard, that you see from the entrance of the home. Home staging is also design trends, and I'm going to go into that a little bit more. It's not that we want to make a home look completely designy and trendy, but we want to bring in some of the pieces that people are looking for, that they see on HGTV. So, like this kind of world, so they can connect with it. Home staging is also the knowledge of the real estate market. So me as a stager, I look at the demographic. I talk with Jenica in this case, or with any real estate agent. We look at what's the demographic, where is the home situated, what's the location, who's buying there, and then we really tie that into the staging of is it important to have an office there? How many bedrooms do we want to have, because our family's shopping here or buying here, and those kind of things. So again, very strategic there. And then there's a code of ethics with home staging. I'm part of RISA, that's a Real Estate and Staging Association. And as real estate agents also have associations, there is, industry standards and just ethics of how we work. And so we live up to those. And then staging is also possible updates to the property. So for example, as I call it, the buyer's eyes consultation that I provide with Jenica, I would maybe recommend some updates. Sometimes it could be painting, sometimes it could be, exchanging some outdated light fixtures. There's different things that can be done, but that's what I mean by possible updates. And then staging is also the best layout for MLS photos. So sometimes when you come into a home, it's not necessarily the interior design aspect of things. It doesn't necessarily have to be super functional. Of course, that is a big part of it, but you want to show it off so it shows off the biggest space, the most light and whatnot. So you really look at it from that perspective of how are people traveling through the space when they tour the home. So that's a big aspect too. And then we want to highlight the space and the flow in rooms, which I just kind of talked about. But so that is one of the things. And then, so remember, staging is a marketing strategy. It's not design and decorating only. So how do you choose the right stager? At this point, we'll work together, Jenica and I, but I think it's important that you pick out stagers that are, well, I just go into it. So review the stager's portfolio, the website. So you want to make sure their style and aesthetic are appealing and that the photos are their own work. That's important. You want to make sure that on the photos you see that the scale of the furniture matches the size of the room. So the furniture should fill the room appropriately, or that they're not overcrowd a space, because that's a killer for showing off the size of a home, right? So you also want to check to see that the style matches the home. So furniture should be cohesive with the architectural style when vacant, and incorporated strategically when it's occupied. And check the credentials. Is the stager certified? So for example, I actually did a certification program. So I'm a officially certified stager, and that just brings a lot of, extra oomph with it. So you can trust that that's going to be a good thing. And so don't price shop. So basing a decision on pricing alone is risky. Choose a company that you feel confident with that will bring the most value to your property. So there's many different stagers out in the market, and everybody has specialties. Some are for luxury, some do a little bit of everything, and then there are some that focus on occupied staging, for example, like me. So look at, what fits best for your project. And then look for on-trend statement pieces in the inventory with statement items that catch your eye. So, again, people do watch HGTV, and the upcoming things are online and everywhere on social media of what are upcoming trends. And, Jenica and I may talk about that a little bit more later, but have some of those pieces in there as a stager. So it catches people's eyes. So here's just a few pictures of mine. I just kind of brag a little bit here. But and then we will go into some before and afters now. Is that okay, Jenica?
Yeah, let's do it. This is the fun part.
Okay, so this was a property that Jenica and I did together. And she hired me for the buyer's eyes consultation. And this actually ended up being just a photo prep, because photography was really quickly after, just a couple days after. And they had wonderful things to work with. But again, I put my buyer's eyes on and looked at all the different things that we just mentioned, about the size of the home, the layout, the lighting in there. And so you'll see the before and afters and what we've done. And I can talk about it a little bit too. And Jenica, you can chime in at any point.
Yeah.
Okay, so this was the dining room when you first came in. So it felt kind of dark and a little crowded. So we just took a few things out. And then this was the living room. And again, they had wonderful furniture, but here it kind of blocked the, seating arrangement, and was a little bit too many furniture in there. So we just kind of rearranged and put some things away. So we brought in a chair from a different room, and I like to do that because I work with most everything that people have, and just rearrange it from room to room or reposition it, and it's a lot of fun. So here now you can really see the fireplace in a nice way, and it opens up the whole entertaining space there. This was the bedroom, nothing bad to say, but again, it looked kind of dark. And so we brought in a chair from the living room and moved the leather chair into the living room, and just brightened and lightened everything up a little bit, and moved some artwork around. This was the office / guest room. So these are all things that they had in the home, and we just rearranged them a little bit. What brought the mirror into the corner and took a little bit taste specific artwork out and had them pre-pack it. And so this was the photo prep. So, I came in there and worked with the homeowners. They were all gung-ho and moved everything around. And so the investment was $425 at that point. It listed in February this year. and the asking price was $780, and it went pending in 4 days and sold for 800,000. So 20,000 over asking price. So I think that was, you know, a stellar investment. So
Yeah, and we had, I think that number is a little bit off. I think the selling price, but regardless, we had a number of offers. I think we shared with you, but I want to say we had like 7 or 8 offers on that property. So for just the 425, and the thing is I covered the 425. So as a seller, that's not a cost that you have to pay. I pay that. So that's included with our listing contracts. And it made such a difference. This was one of the nicest homes that we've sold in this neighborhood, and we were so grateful to get the listing. But just moving some pieces around, like Rita said, and bringing in a few things, or just working with what they have, it was it showed beautifully. And so it's so fun to be able to.
And it's also really wonderful to work with the people that live in the home,
Yes.
because during the time that it's listed, they live in it. So, you know, I work with them and really talk about, okay, we can make it look like this, but you can still live in it. So let's make it as functional as possible during that time frame.
Yeah.
So the next one was out in Roseville. And so the staging or let's go through the before and afters first. So this was the main living room. And again, you know, they had beautiful things to work with, but it was kind of dark and just didn't have a lot of warmth. And they had a really beautiful ceiling up there. And we just wanted to accentuate it a little bit and bring a little bit of balance in there. So I brought in some artwork and a rug and just moved things around a little bit, brought some things from other rooms again, and tied it all in.
And you can see too, if you don't mind going back, or that's fine,
Yeah.
this picture, but like the difference of that, like how you feel. I mean, you look at the first picture and you think, oh, that, you know, it's that nice room. But then you look at the next picture, like, oh my gosh, I want to be there. I want to live there.
Yes.
It brings you that feeling. And as a seller, that's what you're going for. Like when you walk into a model home, as many of us have been in model homes, it's the feeling that you get. And the feeling is what makes you act. Right? We say emotion makes you think and the feeling makes you act. Anyway, or I'm not saying it correctly, but that's what makes people want to, you know, make that decision, say, I want to live here. What do I need to do? And how much do I need to pay? And how much over list price do I need to be? So that's what we're going for. That's the intention when we say work with a stager, hire a stager, or, you know, follow her recommendations, because that's what makes people
we want to bring that feeling of home, right?
Yes,
and it just kind of, and it's different things for different people, but you will see throughout we try to create a little bit of a thread. And again, what's really interesting, if it's a vacant home, you really want to make it feel lived in, and with an occupied home, meaning people live in it, you want to make it look like a model home. So, and this is where I come in and can assist with that.
And sorry, it's logic makes you think and emotion makes you act. And so that's, that's what we're going for. That's
a good one. Yes. So this was the dining room, you know, perfectly fine, but we just kind of lightened it up a little bit again. And, you know, again, we worked with everything that they had, but just kind of less is more sometimes too. So decluttering helps a ton. And just, you know, really reorganizing things a little bit. This was almost like a vacant room, but again, you see the bed there, and we moved the chair around to another room and brought other pieces from other rooms in. And here we go, added some artwork, added some, you know, bedding to tie it all together. So in this home, it was a little bit of a blue theme. So we have some accents there all throughout that were blue. This was the office. So again, it's a nice room, but it just kind of didn't create that creative feeling that you want to have in an office, or kind of a grander office space. So we just changed things up, brought in some bookcases from another room, added some artwork and lighting that kind of freshened and neutralized it a little bit too. This was the primary bedroom, beautiful bedroom. And again, we worked with everything. And that's even the bedding. I just turned things around or upside down and just added some accessories, artwork, and some different light fixtures or lamps as on the nightstands to really emphasize those windows and bring in some harmony and make it feel serene and the retreat it should be, right?
Yeah.
So I always think with primary suites, if it's the bedroom or the bathroom, always think hotel. So anything, you know, nice and crisp, white and bright sheets and, you know, good lighting. And in the bathrooms, you want to have white towels and to really make it feel like a spa. That's what you want to go for.
When we're on that topic, can you maybe touch on why, maybe what if I like purple or red, or I like these other colors, like why is that not okay to have in a bath, or why is it not ideal, I guess?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's a couple things to that. So again, for a bathroom and whatnot, white towels are fantastic because it shows really well on photography. So it makes everything look like crisp and bright. And again, it kind of makes you feel like you're in a spa, you're in a hotel, you know, and also, you know, towels and bath mats and things of that nature in the bathroom, they can harvest germs, right? Mm-hmm. So white, for whatever reason, just makes people think, you know, you can bleach it, they're white, they're bright, it's not dirty. So that really helps with that kind of appeal too. Yeah. Did that answer it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, good.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. So for this one, including the consultation and whatnot, the investment was, you know, $2,075, and we listed it end of June for $1,250,000. They had 3 offers and it went pending in only 3 days. So it was, you know, a pretty big success, I thought.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And that was a beautiful property with a lot of land and yeah, just gorgeous. All right. So then the next one was actually just a little photo prep. Again, the owners had a lot of wonderful things and we just moved things around, and I came in really quickly and helped them move some things around, bring in a little bit of greenery in areas and artwork, and just opened up the layout in some cases a little bit, but yeah, I'll go through it. So this was the main living room when you first came in, and you can see we just moved the chairs a little bit out of the way. So for the photography, everything looked a little bit more open and inviting. And they had wonderful textiles and very cheerful and, you know, colorful pieces. And but we had to tone it down a little bit. So in this case, for example, we took the artwork and we moved it somewhere else in the home and just kind of neutralized it a little bit, and that helped a ton. So this was the family and TV room, and we didn't take all the color out. We actually worked with a lot of it, but you can see that it was kind of feeling blocked off with the armchair there. So we just moved things around to open everything up a little bit. So this is what the after was, and we brought him some, you know, accessories and whatnot to accentuate the amazing fireplace, which kind of, you know, receded, or is that the right word? It kind of went away in the before picture, but now it kind of made it stand out a little bit and again accentuated it somewhat.
And on that one too, if you can see in the left picture, the before picture, all the family photos. So I know that people read online, like you should depersonalize, and you can see the difference of like a bunch of family photos all over, and then just a clean space with neutral, you know, non-specific, you know, people want to envision themselves there. So when they see pictures of your family and your, you know, it's harder for them to do that. And so, yeah, this house showed really beautifully too after you came in.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was a lot of fun too. And such a good point about the photography. That is such a big thing, you know, so you can do as much as you want with staging actually, but if those personal items are not removed, people just cannot see themselves there. They still have the feeling that someone else lives in the home. And you just have to think about the fact that you want to show them somewhat of a model home, right? And there's usually not pictures of someone in there. So That's a big one. And just on a side note, a little tip, but if you take pictures or for showings and open house, you never want to park your car in the front of the house, because then people will have the feeling, well, if someone lives there, I'm not coming to a home that I can live in. So that's just a side. So then here, this was a little excellent one. This is the lifestyle shot right there. That's the wine you're having in that seating area there. And so this was the family room, the bedroom, the primary bedroom. And so you can see it was a little bit dark, and we moved things around, and we actually brought in the rug from the dining room because there were two competing kind of patterns, and it just brought in a little bit of warmth. We brought in the armchair from the family room and created a reading area here where you can have your coffee in the morning and read your your book or whatnot, and brought some artwork above the headboard of the bed that was also in a different room. So it was all things from their home, and we just tied it all together. There's the nook. So you can see actually that flower picture that was next to the bed is now behind the chair. So we'll just move things around. It's a big puzzle in my head, and I have so much fun bringing things together. So this was one of the guest rooms, and they had a Paris theme going there, and we just really, worked with everything, but brought a lamp in from another room to really tie it all together. And this got a lot of attention.
It did. People said, "Oh, that's the one with the book on the bed where it was all full." I was like, "Oh, yeah,
yeah." And yeah, so this one was the staging and styling services. Was $1,200 was the investment, and then it went on the market July 7th for $740, pending after 3 days on the market, and yeah, it was 40,000 over asking price. So exciting. Another project that we did together.
Yes.
That worked out so well. Yeah. And so then a lot of people ask me, when should you stage, right? So there's some different aspects to it, but every house benefits from staging. That's one thing. So it could be, a little cottage, or a bedroom, a 1-bedroom apartment. It could be also a luxury mansion. I want to bring that up. It's every price level and in every market. So even during COVID, I know, or the pandemic, houses flew off the shelves, but it's really looking at, okay, so they flew off the shelves, but could have staging also raised how much it went for. So those are all aspects you want to think of as a real estate agent. How much money can you get for your sellers, and as the home sellers, like how much return on investment do you want to get out of this? So that was one part. And then when should it be staged? Before the property becomes active, so on MLS. So you want to have it ideally prepped and ready to go with staging and professional photography, and then put it on the market that way. And if you stage, or if after the property has been listed prior, if it's going to re-enter the market, you want to make it look vastly different. So if you have, as a real estate agent, if you have had or have taken over a property from someone, you really want to look at, okay, how can I make this look very different? What has not worked before when we put it on the market? And as a home seller, if you hire a new realtor, a realtor that chooses to stage, it's huge for you, because you're gonna attract a whole new audience to the home. That's a big part too. Would you agree, Jenica?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So just a couple of facts. So in 21, most sellers saw an average of over 400% return on investment when they invested in staging. and professionally staged homes present and show better than competing homes for sale. So including occupied, new construction, and higher priced homes. And one of the things that is so important is if you think about in the neighborhood, right? Or in an apartment complex where there's similar units, oftentimes when you stage a home and a similar unit or home sold down or is available down the street, buyers usually go for the one that has staged and beautifully presented because it brings up the appeal, right? So it brings up the market value when they go for that staged home, and people are just more attracted to it. So that's a big deal. And Jenica, maybe you can talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, I think it is on the house that she showed with the book on the bed. That one, there's the same floor plan across the street that was on, and it's been listed and relisted, and they ended up having to, kept going on the market, off the market, wasn't staged. It definitely didn't have all the upgrades that ours had, but they were on the market for a long time on and off. So it just shows like just getting it ready and putting your best foot forward. You just have that one shot. Like she said, if you have to re-enter the market, that's never really a good sign. So starting off on that right foot is really important. So you make the best impression. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes, I agree. So that was kind of it from my end. So I don't know what else you wanted to.
Yes. So we'll wrap up here. So thank you for sharing all that. It was super helpful and so good to see the before and afters. And, for me as a real estate professional, I can help you say, oh, you should do this, or get a new front door mat, or some tips. And it's not my expertise to be the stager. Also, I used to, before we started working with stagers, help clients put things in certain places. But for me personally, I know what I like when I see it, but getting there is not always easy. So, so it's really important to hire a stager. On a personal level too, Rita also does redesign for your home. And so a lot of times buyers will walk into these staged homes, buy them, and then say, well, I want it to look like that. How do I make it look like that? So she's also available for restyling, helping shopping, different things like that. I know that the time invested to go to Home Goods, return, the pillows, it's not the right, oh my gosh, so much work, and it's exhausting. And I, being self-employed, should just work on, finding new clients and nurturing my relationships, not returning 100 things at Home Goods. And then they expire, the receipt expires or whatever. It's like, I was supposed to return all these pillows. It's like so exhausting. So just knowing that she's available for that as well, to make the home look like this when you move in, is just one thing, to point out. And then just a few things as we end here. What would you say is coming up as far as trends in home design? And I know for a long time, gray and white, it's like everything gray and white, this and that. And I think, we're kind of past that in a sense. And now we're seeing more neutral colored floors, like really pretty wood color floors, and white walls, and, wood accents. So what do you think is coming up now with, like, on the horizon, I guess, with home design?
Yeah. So I would say the neutrals is still good. And yeah, we have gone away from the gray quite a bit, which is nice. You do see a lot more contrast things going on. So for example, whites and blacks and whatnot. But in terms of color, I definitely see a little bit the 80s returning with some blushes and, pastel colors in fashion and in home design. But and we can go into more details, but you can ask me about it too on a side note later, when you reach out to me. But where was I going with this? Let me think. But in terms of design and, just some tips and whatnot, I feel like, you really best to go with, neutral furnishings, if that's where you put your money, big investments, or the sofa and, chairs and whatnot. And then you can really spruce it up and change it even with the season with, you know, colorful textured or patterned pillows and whatnot, and bring it all in, bring the color in with all the artwork and accessories throughout the home. So it really, you know, brings out your style and your personality that way without breaking the bank.
Yeah, yeah, and then you can change it over time instead of getting like a
Yeah.
purple couch. If purple's your color, you can accent with it and then
Yeah.
not like have to get rid of the couch every time you want to change
Yeah,
it.
absolutely. Exactly.
Okay,
It's kind of
awesome.
like changing the hairstyle, you know, you can,
Yes,
yeah,
yes, yeah.
you grow out of it.
Okay, perfect. So why don't you tell people before we sign off here, how people can get in contact with you and maybe what areas you serve and.
Yeah, so this was a little bit the services that I offer. Jenica already talked about that. So it's my buyer's eyes consultation, and occupied staging and styling service. I also do vacant staging, and then home styling and design is what I call it. So if you're interested in having me come in for a consultation that way, we can look at what you have and what you, you know, if you want to buy something else, and we tie it all together. Yeah, so that's fun. And then how you get in contact with me, but this is essentially me right here. There's my information on the bottom. Social media, my phone number is 408-667-6591. And you can go to my website, you can email me. I'm very text friendly too. So yeah, so that's me in a nutshell right there.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being with us today. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to say I love working with Jenica. So if you choose to work with her, I think she does a lovely job, you know, preparing the homes for sale and having the best interest at heart for you as the seller. So go with her. She offers my consultation, and it's, you know, super value that you get from her services. So
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate
yes.
that. Yes, we'd love to earn your business. So we'll link Rita's information here on the YouTube and our other social platforms so that you can find her easily. But thank you for being with us today, Rita.
Thank you so much. This was great. Yes. Have a good one, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.